Hey there everyone, hi and welcome. I'm just setting up the YouTube so I can watch myself. Give me one sec. It's not that I'm watching myself because I think I'm gorgeous, it's that I'm watching myself so I can see when you guys make comments, say hi, all that sort of stuff. Excuse me. So I'd have a lovely morning going to IKEA because there's nothing going on and it's a Friday. And one of the things I try not to do on Friday is open a position. I do have an exception here in that, so to answer the question, is it time the correction is stopped? You have a correction here which is, largely driven by the stock market, which is why I've started here by looking at the S&P 500. This is driving prices of other things, for example, Bitcoin right now. So, I like to talk about Bitcoin because a lot of people want to know about it, but this is what's driving it. So this drop here is mirrored. If we look at Bitcoin, we're a similar picture. But what I am seeing is a level here in S&P where I start to think we may drop. We're not quite there. And so what I'm looking for today is some profit taking started by some panic. So I'm thinking that, if we drop round to sort of 384, 385, which on this, because this is looking at E-minis, this is 3840, 3850. Once we drop down there, I feel that there's a reasonable amount of support, and what we might get is a rally as people take profits for the week. Okay, so while I'm not necessarily saying right this is the time to go bullish, I do feel that we had this ramp up. I did say I felt bullish all the way up here. I fancied a correction. The correction has been deeper than perhaps I thought. I thought we'd come down to say 39.80, but instead we've gone down to 38, below 38.80. But if you put my arm on my back, I'm probably not going to sell this market here. I'm probably more looking to buy it. And so that's kind of where I feel on it. So don't forget, do ask questions, and don't forget, if you like this sort of material, subscribe, like and share. Tell other people that it's out here, because too many of them are watching idiots who are just guessing. Now, I would say that overall, I'm still bullish in Bitcoin. Let's switch to Bitcoin now. So notice how Bitcoin is stuck around this level here, which has been a previous area. And what we could be seeing here is, let me see, when's this? So let's go and get the whole picture. Bring it out to 4 hours, so we get more of a picture. So down here is all for me in the value area, this whole box. And I'm not put off by the fact that we haven't broken out of it yet, because this could go on for some while. You still have a war going on in Ukraine. There have been some tiny victories which caused the rally, and then we have some economic figures that are crap, and that causes the sell-off. Rod Dasher says, good afternoon, Paul. Good afternoon to you too. I suspect it might be your morning. And so it's driven a tiny bit by sentiment, and sentiment at this time of the year, when people have just come back from holiday, getting their feet under the desk, is not 100% in. What do you expect at the end of the year? Don't forget, you've still got pension fund money coming into the stock market. If the stock market is driving things, then don't forget, stock markets over time go up. So let's have a look at, say, monthly. This only goes back to 2015, but over time stock markets go up. Bitcoin, no, sorry, that's the US 500. Here we go, here's the stock market. Okay, so in 2011 it was 11, 17, and now it's 386. Okay, so what I'm saying is that stock markets go up, and why do they go up? Because people's money keeps being paid into their pension. Where does the pension fund money go? Largely into equities, and so as a result, stock markets tend to go up, and that will not stop. Yes, you have corrections, but that's really just people lining up, and they know they've got to buy it at some stage. It's just a question of when. And I'm not tub-thumpingly bullish here, but I am saying that given no news, I'd expect it to drift up, not down. Cayman Fergus says, hi Paul, CTRA. CTRA, okay. I'm assuming you mean Coterra Energy. Let's have a look at Katerra Energy, which I've never heard of. And so here's a nice monthly plot, which kind of looks like a 3 with a 4's broken. So from an Elliott wave perspective, you know, that's not behaving. Because no matter where the 4 is, this is most likely a 1. You can have a look at a few, just to see whether these things make sense. That beat 1.618. Or if we go to here. So it kind of behaved up to that point, but the pullback has been deeper than anyone expected. And it's not alone in that. You know, we've got things like New Zealand dollar, US dollar that has broken its Elliott wave as well. It doesn't mean that we aren't in the sort of value area for some of these things. This one seems to have rallied reasonably hard. Let me just get rid of the... What do you got here? I don't know any stories behind it. And on price action alone, not sure what I'd do there. Seems quite well priced. It's in an area where it's obviously going to stall. I'd say sideways. Sell premium in options. There you go. Jan says, do you think there's any chance for S&P going down and VTC staying at 20k or going up at the same time? Yeah, some chance. I think people are accumulating. But don't forget there's don't forget in Bitcoin, you know, there is some scope. Going back to Bitcoin, getting away from whatever this thing is. Look at my favourite 8 hours. You know, it still has scope down here. It still has scope to make a spring if it wants. You know, and that would take you down to 17,000, maybe lower. You know, so yeah, there is some scope, but does it have a flat cap underneath it? No, it does not. You know, it doesn't have a cushion landing. Stuff can still go down. If the S&P 500 carries on having a really, terrible time, and S&P's got room, go down another 200. And I would say that would just about be the same as Bitcoin going down to sort of 17,000 or below. So if it goes down, I think Bitcoin carries on going down. I can't see any reason for it not. And so I can't reassure you there. Toby RTO8, hey, can you check SOC CRM? And don't worry, Dash, I've seen your thing on TradingView. Salesforce Inc. on the monthly. And this is why stock markets go up, because what stock markets do is, stock market indexes do, is throw out all of the poor performers. Which is a good thing, really. So if you have index following, you are going to get only the best performers. And so this is obviously one of the good ones. And it's now at a level you've got to say, you know, below where we are here would be decent value. Definitely got action here where people care. I can just tell from the price, but you can obviously use this thing too. And there is the lump, exactly where we are now. And this area here was another reaction to this price of it. So you're at a point of interest here. So if you're bullish in it for reasons, you know, fundamental, whatever, this is not a bad place. Okay. Now it's not to say it can't go lower, but it's not a bad place. And if you waited this long, yeah, that's probably good. So there's CRM. Now if someone wants to talk about Aussie, that's Rod Dasher wants to talk about Aussie. So Aussie we're watching obviously, and we do watch this one like a hawk. Let's switch this away and back into daily on the Aussie. So there is the COVID crash. The 1 is either here or here or here, and we're not below it yet. This is a 3 coming down for a 4, and we've had several false starts. At some stage, one of these things, and we don't know if it's this stage or not, will turn into a Wyckoff accumulation, and you cannot say that we're there. We've got ever such a slight drop below this level here, and so we might want to pick the whole thing up and see whether we start getting the accumulation here. So this kind of picture here, which if we zoom in could be seen as yeah, so there is your seller's climax, there's your AR up there, and then we're coming down for a secondary test in stage B maybe. but we don't know if that now starts here. This could easily be the seller's climax here. But Wyckoff and Elliott don't necessarily disagree. A lot of the Wyckoff stuff might, just fits in. Where do we think? Are we gagging to buy it right now, Rod? No, we're waiting for further evidence and sitting there. And we're willing to be patient. Good Jesus, I've been waiting for more than 12 months for this trade, and I'm happy that I didn't buy it 12 months ago. Where are we? September. So if I thought this was the low at 71, well, it's down to 66 something now. So that would have been quite wrong, wouldn't it? So punting in there might have made you think, and this part here, this is the sort of thing that messes people up. So this looks like a great 1-2, and then it starts to go better again, and everyone thinks, this is definitely a good 1-2. Wished I bought it, and boom, down we go. What you really have to do is just wait and see more evidence. Also, the other thing we look at within the Discord, there are several other triggers that we look at, and you need to kind of be in Discord really to get that kind of data off us. Are there any more questions? Excuse me, I've got to blow my nose. Sorry about that. Subscribe, like, share. I have to keep reminding you guys. I am getting some subscribers, some likes, and some shares. Rod Dasher says, thanks, I'm happy about that too. I'm very patient now, thanks in large part to you. Well, patience is important. Let's have a look at where I write patience is important, because it is super important. So the importance of patience, there you go. Have a read of that. Patience is a thing. Lewis and myself aim to do 3 to 4 trades a year. Big trades though, reasonable amounts. But we get quite high leverage out of them because we've got such high positivity, such confidence in each trade that we don't have to put more than a few $100s into it to get tens of thousands out the other end. Because once you're in, you can re-leverage and re-leverage it. So if you make, say, out of $500, you might make 5,000. That's easily enough done on the first leg of it, and then you put that 5,000 into the second leg, and all of a sudden, that's how you end up with 50,000 plus 100,000 out of it. Are there any more questions? Because I'm anxious to get away. It's the weekend. I want to get stuck into a bit of Stella Artois, I think, because it's Friday afternoon. Actually, I'm not really that keen. I had a few glasses of red last night, and it's not been the greatest morning for me. So just recapping what I was planning to do is watch the US stock market today, because I can see it coming down a little bit lower. If we go to the hourly, I've got a level around 38.40, where if it just before sort of 2:30 here, which is 9:30 in the US, if it just dips there suddenly, then I'd see that as a precursor, and almost like a head fake to fool everybody into think it's carrying on down, whereas in fact people want to take some profits after, anyone who's short down here and carried on being short, you can see that it's petering out a bit, and now it's a question of, if everyone starts taking their profits, it'll probably run away back up to this sort of level, up about, what's that? Right, so that's 60, there's 60 points in that, which is a fair amount. Okay, that's it. No, oh wait a minute. Yeah, no, that is it. That is for everybody. Right, I will bid you a good weekend. I will stream over the weekend if anything much happens. Don't forget, we've got a bank holiday here in the UK on Monday. So unless something drastic's going on, I probably won't stream on Monday because we'll be out doing something. It's a bank holiday because of the funeral of the Queen. And I won't be working unless it's there's a super important stuff going on and you guys need help. Okay, so take it easy, have a good weekend, try not to get caught.